Hello, dear viewers. I use this suction cup holder to help load the kayak onto the roof of my car and take it down. Today, I want to show you my fishing kayak. It's the Ozark Trail Pro Angler 12-foot, a budget-friendly but very capable option for fishing on Lake Erie.
Up front, I keep a cooler with ice and water out front, and when I get back, I usually store my catch.
This is my electric motor, a Motor Guide R3 30 pounds, which I got from Cabela's. At first, I thought it might be too weak, but it turns out I rarely use the 4th and 5th speeds. I've installed a mount from Amazon to relocate the controls, and now I steer it using cords connected to foot pedals. Today I brought 4 rods with me, 2 trolling rods and 2 spinning rods, light and medium light. As you can see, my trolling reels don't have line counters, so I bought separate ones that are attached to the rod just above the reels. It turns out they are very convenient for trolling because you can drop the bait to the exact depth shown on the fish finder without worrying about dragging it too high or snagging the bottom. Here are some of my must-have and comfort accessories. For safety, I always have a flag, anchor, and registration papers. For comfort and convenience, I use rod holders and a Garmin Striker 4 fish finder. My Garmin Striker 4 is the simplest version of a fish finder from Cabela's. It can scan the bottom and also has GPS, so I don't get lost or accidentally drift into Canada. Just kidding. These are my tackle boxes. Of course, I have a lot more at home, but this should be enough for today. There are crankbaits of different colors, worm spinners, spoons, jigs, and much more. I modified the standard footrests so they now control the motor steering left and right, which turned out to be super convenient when I need both hands free. Behind the seat, I carry a 100 AH lithium-ion battery. It's placed inside a protective box that prevents overcharging and deep discharge. The box also shows voltage levels and has 12-volt car-style outlets and USB ports, perfect for charging phones and cameras while out on the water.
This small battery I use to power my Garmin?
That? Feel official.
I noticed.
This place is called Rocky River Marina, and here you can rent a kayak or a soup and have a great time.
I'll grab some cold water and worms right from the cooler.
This is my life jacket, which also works as a mini tackle vest. It has plenty of pockets, and I keep lots of fishing essentials inside. Sinkers, hooks, swivels, fluorocarbon leader line, and more. And finally, on both sides, I use inflatable stabilizer floats. After trying them once, I was hooked. They make a huge difference in rough water, reducing side-to-side rocking. And on calm days, they let me comfortably stand up and cast from the kayak. Even though I steer with my feet, I still have to place the tiller in the working position because I haven't moved the gear shifter yet, so I use the tiller to shift gears. I connect my fish finder at the end, because otherwise the sensor drags along the bottom, which isn't very good. I usually attach a paddle to this green strap. It's a must-have accessory. Even though I use a motor, it can break or the battery can die. Unfortunately, today is the first time I forgot it at home.
Finally drifting away from the shore of this beautiful river.
I turn on the Garmin, and it immediately starts screaming about shallow water. I start with my spinning rod and a nice green bandit crankbait, which of course I end up losing today. Right after my camera died, I hooked a catfish, probably around 2 to 3 pounds, and it snapped off the crankbait just 2 feet from the kayak. For some reason, I keep getting into these situations. In the past month alone, I've lost 4 crankbaits, 3 of them, like this, ripped off by fish close to the boat, and only 1 actually snagged on the bottom. They're just crankbaits, sure, but at $10 each, it stings. Today it's very windy, so I wasn't really expecting a successful fishing trip, but I promised a video about my kayak, and I don't like sitting at home when I have free time. I prefer to connect with nature. There are many interesting fish in the Rocky River, such as freshwater drum, catfish, bass, sucker, and from fall to spring, steelhead and others come in to spawn. There are many boats, both big and small, docked at this marina. Also, parties often take place along both shores. closer you get to Lake Erie, the deeper the river becomes, and the boats get bigger and more expensive. There are always many kayakers here, and almost all of them are afraid to paddle out into the lake because of the waves. So they just go up to the waves and then head back.
Caught anything?
Today seems to be some kind of local sailor celebration because many of them headed out into the lake at the same time, and every captain was dressed in their formal uniform, something I personally have never seen here before. On the port side, we see some nice houses, but I don't know if it's a hotel or if people actually live there permanently. On the right bank, there are always fishermen sitting, but I can't imagine what they're catching while we paddle our kayaks almost over their lines. I decided to try a soft plastic worm with a weight, but I quickly realized my mistake. This bait is not suitable for trolling, so I switched back to a crankbait. Jigging is of course best done from a stationary position to let the lure fall to the bottom. Then, with gentle rod movements, you give it realistic action, using a slow retrieve with some twitching.
she said to me either that there was a float there or that I should cast mine there.
I'm blind.
I thought someone else's float was already there, but I couldn't see it, so I just said I was blind, and they laughed.
Today I'm testing my new GoPro camera, but the spare batteries haven't arrived yet, so it ran out of power unexpectedly fast. I'll show the expensive yachts in one of the next videos. Later on, I ran into the water police, but since I had everything in order, they just greeted me. Actually, almost everyone waves when they see the camera on my head. There was also an interesting situation when I was heading out into the lake. Along the way, there's something like a yacht club, and on it they display 3 letters, probably the name of the club. There was a small inflatable boat with a flag showing the same 3 letters, and it seemed like they were coordinating the departure of all the larger boats. It was manned by a captain in full uniform. What was really surprising was that he greeted me and said, "I saw your video on YouTube." The funny thing is, at that time, I had only 1 subscriber and about 7 videos, so I assume he might have mistaken me for someone else.
I hope I've shared enough about my kayak. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.